Hi, shalom everyone, a live special edition over here. Just doing the Shabbat shopping at the moment here. We are actually based in the city of Shemesh over here. I thought I would say a few words within regards to the mitzvah of Oneg Shabbat, a special treat over here. And just while purchasing the Shabbat shopping over here, where they've got all the wines, all the breads, all the fish, everything, all the different selection over here. What is the mitzvah of Oneg Shabbat? It's a very central thing. It's very central theme of Shabbat is Oneg Shabbat. Firstly, definitely within regards to the foods, because naturally we have the Friday night Seudah, naturally. We have the Yom Shabbat Seudah, naturally in the mornings or early afternoons, or whatever it might be, and the Seudat Shlishit, also, which is towards the Friday evening. In fact, also as Shabbat comes out, we have the Seudah Revi'it, that is also called the Melava Malka. But why? What's so special about it over here? Did you know that if, let's say for example, someone can't afford Shabbat food, they should even go to charity organizations to get the food naturally in order to pay and help people out? And what is the mitzvah of Oneg Shabbat? It is to enjoy the foods we have. We have the fish, we have meat. Ideally, we know that in the Chagim, ideally the optimum is to have red meat and red wine. That's a natural thing over here. But on Shabbat itself, one of the main optimums is to have dag. Dag, what is dag, friends, over here? Got some fish right behind me. That is a gematria of 7, and that naturally symbolizes the Shabbat that we should have it. There's a famous story of Yosef Mokir Shabbat. Joseph, the man that honored the Shabbat itself, which we've related over beforehand, where he was prepared to buy a very expensive fish, even for a huge amount of money. That's what we learn about inside the Torah over here. But everything that one buys for Shabbat, one should say Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. The main thing is, let's say for example fish, someone doesn't like fish, or whatever it might be, then better not to eat it. But ideally, if someone does enjoy fish as a food, then you eat it on Shabbat also. Also meat, it's mitzvah to have meat on Shabbat. It's oneg, people enjoy it, it's tasty. And the ikar is ideally red meat, to have like a proper red meat thing. People have chamin or chulant, many other people call. I just bought a whole set over here now, but that's one of the other mitzvot, is to actually have red meat and to actually enjoy it also. That's why we're coming into Shavuot actually, and people know that ein simcha bli basar v'yain. The main mitzvah of Shavuot, for example, is to have meat and wine. Many people think it's milky products over here, but that's the thing. Another thing on Shabbat is to enjoy the food. One extra thing that, friends, which people aren't aware of, there's also a mitzvah before Shabbat actually comes in, to actually taste the foods one is going to eat on the Shabbat itself, to actually have a taste of it, to taste the meat that they're going to eat. Check that it's perfect, because Oneg Shabbat comes very much when it comes to the foods that we eat over here. To eat the foods that's delicious, because we want to enjoy the Shabbat. Shabbat should not be a torture. One should not be counting the minutes. When is Shabbat's going to finish? In how many minutes is it going to finish? One should be excited every single minute, looking forward to the Friday night meal, looking forward to the Shabbat Seudah, looking forward to the Seudah Shishit every single moment. And also, how about breads and stuff like that? Also, the bread has to be delicious also, which you're going to have. Hot, fresh bread is all obviously the ikar. There's different minhagim. Can Sephardim have sweet breads or not, as opposed to other customs also, which is pivotal also over here. But the main food, the main oneg of Shabbat, is to actually enjoy the Shabbat itself. And we know so many stories where people were willing to spend huge amounts of money in order to actually enjoy the Shabbat meals itself. So I'm ready to get the children. Many other things when it comes to Oneg Shabbat. It's sleeping on Shabbat. Sleeping a little bit extra is always good, because it gives somebody the koach, the power for the rest of the week. Oneg Shabbat is critical over here, and Lichvod Shabbat, for the honor of Shabbat, is everything else. I'll just leave you some scenes over here. There's some Shabbat food. There's some Moroccan fish over here. You've got all these different things. You've got the rice over here. All different kinds of meats over here. You can see the spicy peppers. People enjoy Chinese food. Personally, if I had a massive plate of shawarma, I would take that any day of the week. But look at all the amazing food over here. The trick is to say Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh with all the foods, cakes, everything else. But remember, there's a concept of, some people say that you can't put weight on Shabbat. So the cynical say, you can't put weight on Shabbat? Of course you can put weight on Shabbat. What are you talking about? But no, usually when if one eats too much food, the Yetzer Hara is going to increase upon the person, like let's say the evil inclination. But when on Shabbat itself, if you eat that bit extra, that is not gonna, obviously one will put on weight, obviously with what they eat, but they won't get that extra Yetzirah. But we keep healthy on Shabbat still, enjoy, the optimum is to enjoy, and to enjoy the Shabbat itself. One thing I would add also is, friends, one of the main things to do is to drink dry red wine if you can, if it's permitting over here. They've got these delicious red wines over here, friends. Yayin is gematria of 70, and that's a gematria of life over here. King David lived 70 years. To drink wine, to have meat, to have fish, and have a Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat, and say everything Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. So I'll leave you with some scenes over here, and enjoy. Shabbat Shalom.